now a review of the movie.
With the Mario Brothers and plumbing's a game, we're not like the others who get all the fame.
Alright, so what do you think? Super Mario Brothers movie? Or should I say Super Mario Bros. Movie 2023?
I enjoyed it, actually.
Did you now? What was enjoyable about it?
I know people complain about nostalgia, this movie being just a nostalgia.
And the fan service and all that?
But I
But it was
can't.
fine.
I can't imagine this movie being without it. I'm not saying
Wouldn't it be weird?
What else is there to build on outside the games?
Like, what else are you gonna do, you know? Because a lot of people were complaining, it's all fan service. Like, well, yeah, everything is. You know, at least it was pretty much done right. I mean, people liked Sonic when they did stuff. That's why I liked about the Sonic ones, and I don't know, I kind of expect fan service. It's the point of fan service. Everyone likes fan service.
Well, yeah. I mean,
We're not just talking about anime.
I mean, they could have gone like a cartoon route, but then it would be nothing really like the video games.
Yeah, they stuck with the video game logic. They didn't do, like, say, with, you know, like Sonic. They went with the cartoon and the real world type of stuff there. And then he had Detective Pikachu, which was kind of, they tried to make the Pokemon realistic in a realistic world. But this was just all, hey, they were cartoons the whole time. And they weren't, when they were in Brooklyn, they were cartoons still. There wasn't like, so I don't see, like, there's talk about how they want to do a Super Smash movie or a...
I enjoyed the animation. I thought they did a pretty good job. I know some people might think Peach's face looks a little weird, but outside of that, I think overall the animation was pretty good. It's not like every character looked the same. Like, the people didn't always look the same. They all had their own different takes on it. Didn't have the same face syndrome. All the villains or creatures in the Mushroom Kingdom look like what they should look like. The Toads look like Toads, and Bowser look like Bowser.
What do you expect? Everything's going to look like how they should. You know, hopefully you want to make them, you know, look like some weird realistic thing like they try to do with Sonic.
Yeah.
So starting off, I guess, we can start off with this maybe. Chris Pratt, I thought, you know, because everyone was bitching about him because, well, there's a reason why they don't like him. And I think it's because of the certain leaning ways and the certain opinion ways of someone up there. And people just hate those type of people for some reason. And I have no issue with Chris Pratt. I don't go watch everything he's in or hardly watch anything he's in. I'm not even that, you know, I'm not a fan of the Guardian movies or anything like that. So, but I got nothing against the guy.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone's like, oh my gosh, why couldn't you have, you know, it's like, well, the TV show didn't have the guy who does for the video games for Mario for that.
Right.
So, I mean, why are you complaining now that, why didn't they get him to do the voice of Mario? It's like, I get it. It's what you kind of want, but at the same time, those are video games. This is a movie.
Yeah.
And it's just how it is.
Right.
I mean, they get people who do that. If he couldn't, you know, he was still, I think, executive producing. He cameoed with voices in there, obviously, which is pretty neat. But Pratt did a good job. I was really happy when they did the opening with the little Super Mario, their plumbing commercial. Of course, I saw that with the little teaser. You know, we saw that already. But it's still pretty neat that they included that. And in the trailer, their voices, you know, were like, hey, it's me, talking like it is, you know. And I was like, oh, wow, you know. And then it's like, was it too much? It's like, no, it was fine, you know. They were talking, it's like, was it a little too much with the accent? And I was like, see, he can do the accent. But they were kind of doing, it's like, they didn't sound like that in the cartoon show. And obviously, in the live action one, they didn't sound like that. So it's like, I don't see what the beef was. I think the voices were good. Pratt did good with his high-pitched voice for the commercial. You know, I thought that was funny that they did it for that. And it sounded like an actual normal-ish voice that you would have.
Right.
I mean, did people complain that Princess Peach doesn't sound like Mario? I thought she was one of the ones I was like, yeah, it felt kind of...
Right.
Because Pratt sounded good.
Luigi sounded good. Bowser.
Jack Black.
Yeah,
I thought he did a good job. I didn't even mind Seth Rogen, even though it's still just him. But the voice fits kind of the Donkey Kong. He had a little bit of acting kind of thrown in there, so it wasn't just, hey, I'm Seth Rogen, bro. There was stuff in there for him. A Toad, he sounded like how he was in the show. That obnoxious kind of, hey, what are you doing? But more of that. So it fit for that. But I mean, I like how there's the complaints on certain things, but I mean, did anyone complain about Princess Peach not sounding like Princess Peach?
Right.
Why didn't no one demand that we get her voice actress or whatever to talk?
Yeah.
Or Luigi's, or anyone else's. Why was it just Chris Pratt? We all know why, but I was okay with it. But I think everyone did a good job. She did a good job.
Yeah.
She was fine, but it just didn't sound like Peach. So I'm just wondering why that's okay, but Mario, that is something like a Mario, was the only thing that upset people. And everyone else, like Luigi, didn't sound like, he had that kind of which I thought was fitting. All that stuff. So they all did a good job. I still think the one who knocked out of the park, though, was Bowser.
Yeah.
I'm always a fan of Bowser. He's always cool. He looks cool. He just sounds cool. Jack Black. I love Jack Black. He did a great job. Villains are always villains. Villains got to be good, and he was good.
Well, yeah, he seemed pretty menacing. He seemed pretty serious. He knew what he wanted, no matter what everyone else thought.
I'm glad they kept the penguin thing. It wasn't just a trailer thing.
Yeah, that would have been great.
That was the opening of the movie. I loved it. With his whole, I love the penguins. I love the whole "Do you yield?" He was my buddy, and then he was in the movie a few more times. Like, he's there again. They're funny. Yeah. And the interactions with the Lasarti, and it worked. I really liked the beginning the most, honestly. Because it was just normal with them in Brooklyn, them going through stuff. It was like real life slice of life, just real life stuff going with them as brothers, sticking together, being together. The whole family aspect again. The family, the mom praising them, the dad, I don't know, type of stuff there. So I like that kind of stuff. Yeah. That was really nice. And then it gets into the magical world stuff, which is fine. You gotta. But I like that opening part there, the first 10, 15 minutes, whatever. That was nice. And they brought it back again at the end to show you, and that's what I liked with the, well, your dad thinks you're a goof. Well, you're an idiot too. It's like this. Well, your dad's right. And I'm like,
yeah, that's some relevant.
So I like how DK and Mario kind of
can relate.
They're at the end. The dad's like, I'm proud of you boys, and crap like that. It was good. It was a nice message. It was good. Got a lot of chuckles. It was entertaining. The animation again, stunning. Was really good.
Yeah, I mean, very colorful.
I like how they did the beginning. Where, which I thought was kind of silly. I get it because he's not used to it. Type of garbage that they were trying to say. But he was kicking ass when they were kind of showing the level jumping stuff. When they were in Brooklyn. It was, come on, we have to, the car isn't working. Let's go get to the place. And he's like, doot, 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 like they're doing a level thing there. Just in the streets with the construction workers and shit like that.
And the flag and the castle.
And
it's pretty well.
I'm like, oh, that's neat. But then, of course, when he gets there, oh, I'm clumsy and have no clue what I'm doing. It's like, you'd have to do it for the humor, plus to make her look, I can do anything. Which was, stuff like that got a little, like, oh, come on, type of stuff there. It was couldn't there been one moment? Just one, and so that was like the only beef, and Toad was funny. I caught some, it made me think of Puss in Boots. He's my best friend. It's like, oh, is he the dog?
Yeah.
Because it's like, he's my best friend. Oh, you have a best friend now?
Yeah.
He is not my best friend. What are you talking about? So I just love this. Like, he's my best friend. It's like, yeah. I like how he doesn't like mushrooms.
Yeah.
That was funny. And little details where then you see him I like mushrooms with Luigi, and then you can see him on the plate picking off the mushrooms off his spaghetti to give him to Luigi. I'm like, oh, that's so cute and sweet.
That is.
And just a nice little touch. I just like that family aspect of it at the beginning.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting that.
Well, I wasn't expecting either. There was not much... When it comes to that part, there was not much slice of life hints in the trailers. But
you knew they were going to be from where to go there. I just thought it was going to be... I didn't know they were going to go with that extra bit of scenes before they, go from here to into the new world stuff.
Well, that just proves that they had some good script writing, because sometimes people can't really do the slice of life stuff. It's either it seems too cheesy, too fake. I know sometimes they just do slice of life stuff here in America just to make jokes, but I mean, I thought they did a pretty good job of that, and I like the aspect, it's about family sticking together. Mm-hmm. We could do anything when we're together.
Him and Luigi, and then them together kicking ass, and then there you go. So that was nice. I like the Donkey Kong scenes. I like Cranky Kong.
Well, yeah.
And they were the ones that provided him with the vehicles for Mario Kart. So that was funny.
Well, yeah.
That was cool.
I mean, I like that they did different aspects from different games.
Oh, and then during the scene when they're making that, I'm just like, that's what I liked about this movie, too. I'm just sitting there going, thunder. I was like, oh my gosh, they got AC/DC going. And then before that, they were doing, when they were going to the con place there, I was like, what the hell? When he's like, come with me. We'll take you to the King Cranky or whatever. And then it's like, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. I'm like, they have Aha playing? Yeah. So there was some interesting music choices. I really enjoyed it. I was like, yeah, I'm jamming to this, in the theater, so that was cool. And I like all the fancier stuff. You had all the music cues for all the different level musics. You had like King Boo back there, that King Bomb guy or whatever.
Yeah, those characters from different
little
things.
Skeleton turtles gumming up there. You had the Shy Guys, which were cool.
Oh yeah, they had Starfy from the Mario Galaxy,
which was very dark and depressing, and we're gonna die. And I was like, that was funny.
They had little hints of Luigi's Mansion in there.
Yep.
Well,
and then of course Bowser. It just I
think he embodied Bowser pretty well.
Come on! You've been singing it all the rest of the day.
Yeah, Peach song. That's pretty good.
I like his little Peach song. Peaches, 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 peaches.
It's kind of catchy.
Peaches. I'm like, oh, he was good. And then they did it again for the ending with him, and that was funny. And peaches, peaches, peaches.
I don't know why I never thought of him as more of a piano player, but you know what? I don't see why not.
He was funny. That was funny, and that was good. And I like his. I forgot the guy's name. Who is that guy? The little wizard guy.
Oh, I forgot his name too. But he did a good voice acting.
His voice was great on that. It didn't it?
It seemed like it just fit right.
It did.
I like
design. Will you marry me? Oh yes. And I was like, and then it's like, what's going on here?
It just seems like they had a buddy thing going on there.
And then, come on, play with me. So what is this about this Mario guy? Does Peach have a? And then they're sitting there playing the music for Bowser or whatever, and then it's like, do what I say, we'll kill him.
You know what I found? Can I
lift it up there? No. Pain is a good way of, it's like, And he's like, okay, sir.
And it was good? Hearing people's reactions. The one I'm surprised at is like, how can you see a Mario movie and not know much about Mario? When one person's like, what? About Bowser liking Peach. I couldn't believe that person didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah.
It just caught me off guard. I'm like...
Maybe they just thought, yeah. That was funny. Now that I have the star, I'm going to ask her to marry me. So that was,
It was just funny to hear that.
It's like, duh.
It's like, what do you come here for then? I guess your kids or something? I'm like,
I don't know, but it's like, duh. I mean, it should be obvious. That was pretty funny. It was cool. I like all, the Rainbow Road, all that stuff looked good. All the blocks, the course was neat. The blocks,
different power-ups
for the Donkey Kong thing was cool. The battle of Donkey Kong I really enjoyed. That was a good battle. Yeah. That was a good thing there. And he's all ha ha ha, and then he gets the kitty suit, and it was real. That was an intense, pretty good scene.
Wow.
The battle of Bowser was pretty good. The final battle and all stuff there was pretty good. And I liked all the characters. They got as many of the characters. They had Pauline in there. She was when they're like, hey, Brooklyn's like flooding over, and then she's on there talking. I'm like, hey, that's Pauline, right? Yeah. So they got her in there, and they're like, let's go to Brooklyn and save Brooklyn. And then they save Brooklyn in the end. Spoilers, but as they wanted to. So it was nice. I like the family aspect, the brotherly bond thing. Him hating mushrooms, it was funny. Him going through the tubes, and then oh, brother. It's like, finally gets to the right tube to get to the top. I was like, oh, that would be like, screw it. Someone take me up there or something. Because,
yeah.
I mean, I wonder how many pipes you had to go through,
Yeah, I've never been, but it made me think of the Universal Studios Mario place. Because it kind of looked like that for the style of the whole movie. Which is good because you want it to look more cartoony than realistic.
Oh yeah,
and I like the idea of them actually doing the pipe instead of the real live action one with the portal.
You know what's weird? Like, I feel like when I see Bowser in the movie, his model, the facial expressions with his eyes and his face, something make it. I feel like I'm looking at Jack Black. It was weird. Like, it looked like it was his face, and then just, like, it was like, did they, like, take him and then base his design somehow on Jack Black? It just looked really...
Maybe they did what they did with Frozen, where they looked at the actress do the lines, and maybe they was like, you know what, that looks
but
good.
It's just...
Yeah,
because it looked just... And there are times where I was like, the two are... So he did a good job. He usually does a good job.
Yeah, I like
And again, I thought everyone did a good job of the voices. I really didn't have any complaints. My complaints were just that people complain about things, but not complain about other things that are the same thing. I mean, if you're going to complain about one thing, be consistent and complain about everything. It's like the whole thing with other fan service or something like with, like, you know, like, oh, you can't have a female dressed like that, but then you're not complaining about the men dressing like that.
Exactly.
It's stuff like that. It's like, in the end, if you're going to be something on one, then you should be equally and consistent with everything. And speaking of that stuff there, at least they weren't afraid to make Peach feminine. She had milker.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, they actually gave her breasts and she had a butt.
She had good
Yeah,
hips.
I was looking because there's times where it's in your face.
Well, yeah, when she's on a bike or something like that.
Well, when she's standing there in the suit there, it's like, jeepers, people, you spent a lot of money on the cheekages and the whatever. But I was like, good, at least, because a lot of cartoon and animated films nowadays, they try to make the women, like, they have nothing. But the guys can be all this, and whatever. And it's like, oh, but the women are like, we can't have the women looking like women anymore.
Yeah.
Peach, you know, so I'm like, yeah, there you go. And I like how it's like, you know, they could have gone more with it, but at least they weren't, because you know how stuff is nowadays. I don't need no man, blah, blah, blah. But they're like, hey, Peach isn't going to go for you, Mario. But she seemed like, you know, like, oh, what are you talking about? I think he's cute. I like him.
Yeah.
You know, even though Donkey Kong's like, huh, are you joking? This loser? Hey, what do you mean he is? You know, Toad.
Yeah.
Of course he would. Calm down, everyone. But she was looking at him, and he's like, hey, hey, that's more Joey. Italian, at least, but still. But, I mean, they still did that, you know. Peach was good. I liked Peach. I liked all the characters. I just thought the complaints again, and then sometimes it got a little bit, but it would just kill you to humble her just a little bit.
Yeah, I agree.
That's it, you know. It wasn't as bad as it could be. Like, she wasn't annoying or aggravating or unlikable. It was just, tone it down just a little bit. We get it. Women can be strong. Everyone knows that. It's not, you know, but tone it down a little bit.
Well, yeah.
But still, she wasn't unlikable, as I'm sure a lot of people like complain. Like, they complain about that, and so them like, meh.
Well, yeah. And I like that the characters, like even Mario, had some flaws, but it's not like they made him a joke and made Peach take over the spotlight the whole time.
Again, he's somewhere where he wasn't. And because, like I said, you know, he was able to do the stuff there, then he was able to do the stuff there eventually, you know. I mean, let's throw you somewhere and see how well you do at something before you can do it, you know. It's like playing a sport, a game, or anything. You're not just going to be able to, unless you're written that way. But realistically, no, you can't just do that, you know. So it was really good. Again, I love the animation. The characters looked great. Voices are great. The story was actually very nice. It had a lot of enjoyable moments. Like I said, we saw this same week, we just finally saw Puss in Boots. I think that's my favorite movie of last year now. And my top favorite movies of last year were like all animated. It's like Puss in Boots, I really enjoyed Luck, and Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
All three of those movies had me just smiling, laughing a lot, and enjoying it a lot. And this was doing the same thing. I was enjoying it, smiling, and laughing. Yeah. We also saw Ant-Man 3 this week, and like I said, how people say things and whatever, and you know, there were a lot of complaints on that. I didn't see what much of the complaints were. My complaints were different than most of the people's complaints, but I can agree on some of them. Yeah. But like I was talking about Peach, you know, like Peach was the annoying girl boss character that people like to say nowadays. But she wasn't unlikable. She still had a little bit... She did have some, you know, like, oh no, like, I need the cons in order to do this, so she wasn't able to, but then they still showed her like she could, so I was like, what was the point of the cons then? Right. I'm just backtracking now, aren't I? But it was stuff like that, where she wasn't unlikable. She wasn't a bitch or anything like that. You know, like how people were talking about, say, in Ant-Man 3, how Cassie, Ant-Man's daughter, like, I can understand that she isn't the cute little girl anymore.
Right.
But people were saying that she was really, you know, unlikable and bitchy. There were parts of her that were like that.
Well, she seemed like noxious a little bit.
Yeah, but she was still
loved her dad.
But she wasn't as much as people were saying she was.
Yeah.
So I was like, I didn't see it. I saw some of that.
Well,
but for the most part, she still obviously cared for her dad and then stuff like that. So it was not as bad as they were whining about with that one.
Right. That's why you should always listen. That's why you should always watch the movie before you form your full opinion on anything.
Yeah, don't listen to us.
But don't forget to like and subscribe.
But yes, I really enjoyed it. I was anticipating. I was looking forward to it since the announcement and the first little trailer bits. You just get excited.
Well, yeah.
That first trailer last year with the Penguin, Do You Yield? I'm like, ha! I love him already. And I couldn't wait to hear actually hear Chris Pratt and all of them in the movie. The trailer, you hear little bits and pieces, but that's not seeing it in the movie.
Right.
You get to tell you he did a good job. I liked it. I liked everyone else too. So everyone was perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. It was really good. They had good usage of getting the fire flower or the little raccoon suit and the mushroom big and small.
Yeah, as I said, they didn't keep.
They utilized it well.
Yeah, they didn't constantly keep using the same power ups. They tried to spread it out in different.
And they
ones.
showed you as much as they could for different ones there. Like maybe at some point they'll do like the frog suit. Or
from the third
stuff like that, you know. So and maybe Super Mario where he gets his cape. Maybe they can do the maybe with Yoshi in the next one. Obviously,
that'd be cool. Yeah,
they do Super Mario World probably.
Yeah,
they could have had Peach at least pick up like a turnip or something from the ground and throw it. You know, like in Mario 2. Someone could have done that. They might have. I wasn't paying that much attention to that.
I don't think there was.
But there were nice little background jokes and little things like that, and there's a ton of stuff they can do.
Agreed.
For more movies, just as long as they don't screw it up, you know.
Well, yeah. I mean, they could maybe next movie will be Bowser Jr. because they haven't really introduced him yet.
Bowsette?
There you go.
But anyway, so yeah, enjoyed it. I don't know. I gave it a good rating there. I gave it a Chandler out of the Friends. So I don't know. I'd say a high 9-ish, 9.5 maybe.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. It lived up to the expectations. I'm happy for that. So very happy for that because it kind of, I didn't have that much hype because I tried not to, but there was a little hype.
I tried to avoid the trailers.
Well, yeah, there was a little hype though. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like once you get too much hype, you usually get let down.
Yes. So
I try to avoid that, but this one had a little. So I was like, oh no, just like Puss in Boots, I had like that little bit.
Yeah.
Certain ones are gonna have a little bit. Like I had that little like inside me for like I know Silent Night was gonna be something. Like I know it looks good, but I hope it's gonna turn out to be crap.
Yes.
And Bob's Burgers. Stuff like that. Like, I know I was going to enjoy it, but then how much, as long as it didn't screw it up. And then they were all very great films.
Right.
So, and this one, good job. I hope they do more.
I do too.
I'm sure it'll do well. I'm pretty sure it'll do well.
There's different things they could still do with it. I mean, it doesn't always have to be Bowser. So
you gotta have Bowser in there, though. You gotta have Bowser
in there. Of course. Well, I mean, I hope they don't... I would like to see Eggman back in the Sonic movies, but that's a different...
Oh, yeah. Hopefully. Yeah, I always thought that was funny. Like, Mario pops up in a world full of mushrooms.
Yes.
And then at the end of Sonic, the first Sonic movie, Robotnik goes to the world of mushrooms. He's like, oh, I hate the mushrooms. He's like, mushrooms, and doing all the stuff there. It's like, there's got to be some kind of crossover with them then with the mushrooms.
Yeah.
But it was pretty good. It was funny. It was enjoyable. Very much so. I'd say go check it out if you're a fan of Mario. Even if you're not, I don't know. It's a good film.
It's something you can take your family to.
Good messaging. It's funny, it's entertaining. It gets all the right fan servicey nostalgia stuff there. It gives you all that way back feeling, and it had good messaging and good story overall, basically.
Yep. Until next time.
Woohoo!
Like, subscribe, and go. Woohoo!
We saw a lot of movies this week, and the best ones were animated.
Pretty much.
Because it just makes me think of like how far Marvel has fallen with the one we just saw. I still enjoyed it, but you definitely weren't the same they were like 10 years ago. But this, yeah, really good.
I like movies when they can just make it just to be a standalone or their own universe. I just really hope they don't go spinning off to, well, let's add other Nintendo characters into this. If they could just stick.
I just hope
Mario.
they stick with Mario for the Mario movies. Yeah. They could do a Super Smash at some point, I guess.
Well,
If they want to go the Avengers route someday, but it was pretty good. Like, they're setting up for spoilers. Yoshi, which I guess isn't a spoiler. He was in the background.
Exactly.
It was a pink one that was looking at him though, but
Right.
They did the whole. Hopefully, there is another Mario movie. Hopefully, this doesn't flop and this becomes Godzilla '98, where the egg hatches and the dinosaur comes out, or the Mario movie. Didn't that have it happen where there was an egg hatching or something, or was that just in general?
The Mario
With Yoshi,
live action
the
movie.
real Yoshi was in there. There's
He's
always
the
something.
dinosaur.
There's always something, cliche with the egg hatch and then rawr. At least they didn't have him pop out or the tongue go whoop to the screen and then black out. But yeah, Yoshi's coming. I was being more shocked since they had the little Starfy guy.
Yeah.
It's like, are they gonna have Rosalina? Is she also gonna be Mary Sue-ish too? Though honestly, yeah. People say it, but I'm like, yeah, I still kind of agree
About
that Peach was like, I rolled my eyes a lot.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I was like,
I got it my first time.
I was
Well, I
like,
grew up
of
here.
course. And then the flashback shows her being trained by the Toads. So I was like, oh, because they trained you.
Well,
But it's just like when she had the ice thing, fighting everyone. It's like, so what's the point of Mario and Donkey Kong showing up at the end then? Like, what are they going to do? If she's already annihilating everybody. So I rolled my eyes a lot with this movie where it came time. It's like, is there not going to be any scene where she's going to be humble or gets hit, fails, something? I think she got smacked once. But it's just amazing how, damn, girl.
Yeah.
It made me roll my eyes just for that stuff alone. Not terrible. But it was just a little bit like, really?